Hello everyone, how's life? I hope you are listening in good conditions, consider that we are still in the middle of pandemic. We are so delighted to be here today to talk to you about adolescents' anxiety. In this video, what we are going to talk about is a reflection of 24 videos that we have watched in these last 4 weeks. Those videos are talking about issues on adolescents' anxiety. Before presenting our reflections about adolescents' anxiety, let me briefly introduce my team because I will be accompanied by my friends in delivering this video. Okay, he is Krisna Anantya Putra.
Hello.
And me, myself, Mila Saraswati.
Back to the adolescents' anxiety issues. Anxiety disorders are among the most important health issues facing adolescents, and also their parents and those who work with and treat adolescents. Yet, there is a bit of paradox surrounding anxiety disorder in adolescents. We know a great deal about anxiety disorder, including the fact that they are the most common psychiatric disorder among the adolescents, with an estimated prevalence about 31%. On the other hand, anxiety disorders are the most undertreated mental health problem in adolescents, with the recent data indicating that only 18% of anxious adolescents were in treatment.
There are a number of factors that could be contributing, in addition to genetics, brain chemistry, personality, life events, high expectation and pressure to be success, a word that feels scary and threatening, and even social media.
First, we will talk about our initial perspective, our first opinion about this kind of matters. In my opinion, before doing this research of searching the videos of teenagers' anxieties, I thought anxiety comes in a particular certain teenagers with a similar background, such as maybe their parents not giving attention enough for them, or they came from the middle lower family background, etc. And I once thought that this problem, the anxieties in teenagers, will live on their own after they become an adult. And so by leaving the anxieties alone, the anxieties will leave the teenagers, and so it will become like temporary anxieties. And by how their parents help them to cope, to face their children, their teenagers, to face that anxieties, and that parents' attention to them will be very helping the teenagers while facing their problems.
Before listening to the videos about adolescents' anxiety, I thought that not all teenagers experience anxiety. I used to think that only a few of teenagers who had experienced it. I didn't think that it is normal. I had experienced anxiety while I was teenagers, and I couldn't control that feeling. I thought that I am the one who suffered while my friends didn't. My friends just looked like happy as usual. Also, I used to think that anxiety can be coped without any help of parents or health professionals.
Okay, the second one. What points in the video may offer you different perception, different opinion about this matter? So in my opinion, after I do this research about anxiety in teenagers, I found mainly 2 points. The first one is anxiety in teenagers is common, is usual. We can find it almost everywhere. Almost every teenager face these problems, and anxiety not picking either there's rich or middle lower family background teenagers. And the second point I found is this anxiety may comes in different symptoms for each teenagers, and that different symptoms and different problems may need different ways, different solution to face the anxiety, to cope this problem.
Anxiety can include body signals like butterflies, a sinking feeling, tense or uncomfortable feelings, or nervous. Everybody feels anxious sometimes, especially when faced with unfamiliar, dangerous, or stressful situations. Anxiety is a normal reaction to the challenging situations. Anxiety is very common in the teenage years. This is because teenagers have new experiences, opportunities, and challenges. They want to be more independent, and their brain change. For example, teenagers might worry about starting secondary schools, looking a particular way, fitting in with friends, sitting in exams, performing in plays at school, or going to school formals. Sometimes, they might even have irritational concern about the word ending. Also, as their independence increases, teenagers might worry about being responsible for their own actions and getting job. Feeling anxious is part of the normal range of emotions, just like feeling angry and embarrassed. For most teenagers, anxiety doesn't last and goes away its own. For them, it is so intense that it stops them from doing everyday things. But we have to know if anxiety in teenagers isn't always a bad thing. Feeling anxious can help them to keep the teenagers safe by getting them to think about the situation they are in. It can also motivate them to do their best, and it can help them get ready for challenging situations like public speaking or sporting events. That's why managing anxiety is important for helping teenagers. If your teenager is feeling anxious, the best way to help them manage it is to let them know that it is normal to feeling anxious sometimes. Tell your child the feeling will go away in time, and that it shouldn't stop you from doing what they need to do, like giving presentation in class. There are some other ways you can help your child manage everyday anxiety. The first one is helping your teenager face anxiety. Acknowledge your child's fear. Don't dismiss or ignore it. Gently encourage your child to do the things they are anxious about. Help your child set small goals for things that they feel a little anxious about. Encourage your child to meet the goals, but don't step in too early or take control. Try not to make a fuss if your child avoid a situation because of anxiety. The second one is helping your child explore and understand feelings. Tell your child about your own worries as a teenager, and remind your child that lots of other teenagers feel anxious too. Help your child understand that it is normal to go through a big range of emotion, and that sometimes these can be strong emotions. Talk with your child about their emotions. For example, you seem really excited about this swimming carnival. Listen actively to your child. The third one is giving your child love and support. Show your child your patience. Avoid labeling your child as a shy or anxious. Try to be a role model for your child in the way that you manage your own stress and deal with your anxiety. The fourth step is thinking about your family life and routine. Make time in your family routine for things that your child enjoys and find relaxing. Spend time with people your child likes, trust and feel comfortable around. Encourage a healthy lifestyle for your child with plenty of physical activity, sleep, healthy food and drink. To sum up, if you think that your child needs help dealing with anxiety, ask for professional help as early as possible. Your child also needs your help to get professional support. Options for help and include school counselor, psychologists, your local community health center, and also local mental health services.
And then, are their arguments, are their opinions reliable based on who they are and how they convey their opinion or facts? Is that from reliable data? For my answer, yes, because they state their arguments based on their own experience and from the videos from the experts, mainly psychologists and doctors and mental health care. They have empirical data about those problems, about anxiety in teenagers. So is their argument reliable, and do we have to trust them? Yes.
The videos which point out the different perception with my own perceptions are undoubtedly logic and reliable since it's delivered by experts in adolescents' mental health. They convey the information clearly and accurately based on data on their experiences and researches.
And then, what about our final perspective? How about my final opinion about this matter? So, in my opinion, my opinion of anxiety in teenagers and adolescents is slightly changing. I used to think that only a particular or certain teenagers face this problem, face anxiety, but eventually this problem is common and almost every teenager has faced this problem. And I thought anxiety comes with similar symptoms, but actually each teenagers could be facing different symptoms and maybe different ways, different solution how to face these problems. And I thought anxiety in teenagers only come temporarily, but actually if this problem not faced, not coped by the right hand or by the right solution, it could be dangerous, maybe become permanent, or even it could harm the teenagers themselves.
I think that my initial perspective is totally wrong since it's all about my feeling and how I used to think about anxiety on myself when I was teenagers. After listening to the 12 videos which are mostly delivered by experts, now I believe that anxiety is normal for teenagers. Anxiety is a normal response from our body if we are experiencing challenging situations. Some teenagers need help of parents and mental health professionals in order to cope with their anxiety problems.
Okay, now we come to the conclusion. So our group has concluded that our opinions about this matter has changed. We used to think that anxiety only comes to particular teenagers, such as a certain background and have certain experiences, but actually anxiety comes to almost every teenagers, and these anxieties comes with different symptoms and different solution about how they should take these anxieties and how you cope the anxieties so it could be harm to the teenagers. And parents should give more attention to their children, to their teenagers, because it could help them to face their problems. If the teenagers may come to the dangerous stage about the anxiety, the parents might have to take them to the professional such as doctors, psychologists, and mental health care. Okay, I think that's all from us about anxiety in teenagers and adolescents. Don't forget to wash your hands and wear your mask. I'm Krisna Anantya.
I am Mila Saraswati. See you next time.
See you next time.